Hello, my crafty friends. My name is Linda Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator with Crafty Heron Designs. I'm going to show you how to make this cute card today. It is made using the Sophisticated Sled stamp set. The stamp set does come with dies, but I'm not using the dies today. But the dies cut out all the images in the stamp set. We're going to use the skates. We're going to do some blending, some coloring, some embossing, so some fun stuff. So I'm going to show you how to do all of that. This card we made in my Sweet and Simple card class in September. You may have purchased the card class from me, and as such you will be getting a kit with all of the pieces in it. But in case you are joining me and have not purchased the card kit, I'm going to share all the measurements and show you how to make it. So let's see what else. Let's get started. Let's set this aside and I will share with you the measurements. This card is a great layout. You can use it with any of your designer series papers and different colored cardstock and sentiments and everything. So I really like this layout. So the card base is just your standard 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and you get 2 of them out of 1 piece of cardstock. And then you will have 2 pieces of basic white, and they are 5 1/4 by 4. So that's a basic layering piece. One of those is embossed, the other will go on the inside. And then you will need another piece of Lost Lagoon to coordinate with the card base. This layer is 4 1/8 by 2 5/8. And then there's another layer that I cut and die cut. So the base layer would be 4 inches by 2.5 inches, but I cut it at 2 7/8. And then with that piece that was left over, I die cut it with the rectangle deckled die. And that is the smallest one, I believe. So just give it a little bit more interest. There's an extra piece. And then I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. You can use whichever side you like. This is the Winter Meadow designer series paper. It was first came out in our holiday catalog last year, 2023, and then it carried over into our annual catalog. So it's still available, and I can see that I've cut these off, but they're wrong, but we'll correct those. We'll correct that as we go. They should be 3/4 by 4 1/4, but we can correct that when we get started. So the first thing I want to do is the stamping, because since we're going to be doing some coloring, I like to give that Memento ink a little time to dry. So I'm using the, as I said, the Sophisticated Sled stamp set, and I'm going to start with these skates. I think they are really cute. They do have a die that goes along with them, but for the purpose of this class, I'm not using the die. That's not, can you see how that's really not covering? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in my cleaning chamois. Let's give that a good scrub and see if I can try that again. Let it dry a little bit. Sometimes that happens. That's better. Ah, yes, now it's holding better. The nice thing about these photopolymers, you can see through them. So I'm gonna just go ahead and center this on that paper. Hold it, let it absorb into the paper a little bit, and great. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside, and we'll come back and do some coloring on that. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my sentiment. Now, I feel like this sentiment could be for winter birthday. It could be for a holiday card. So the first one I made holiday, but I'm gonna go ahead and make this second one as a birthday, because I think, you know, for someone that lives in a cold climate and has a birthday, well, wherever they are, they have a birthday in a cold season, then I think it's kind of fun to include that. So set that aside. And let's do the embossing. So I'm gonna bring in one of those layers and of the white, and I'm using the it's the Snowflake Sky Embossing Folder. It's got some cute little snowflakes, and I'm gonna line that up. This is a 3D embossing folder, so we will need the correct sandwich in our cut and emboss machine, which means we need a number 1 plate, and of course it tells us right here, using with 3D embossing folders, you need the number 4 plate. And there's the sandwich right there, number 1. Then you put in the embossing folder. The folded edge always goes into the machine first, and then you just run that through. The table is slipping. All right. Bring that out. And that just gives us a nice, fun detail for that card. I love embossing. I just think it takes cards to a whole nother level. So let's see. Let's go ahead and bring in our pieces. So here's our card base. And because I know one of those pieces was a little bit off, yep, see how it's too long? I'm gonna go ahead and attach it, and then I can just cut it off. So before I attach the white piece to the card base, I'm gonna attach these 2 layers. And I'm gonna bring in this piece, because this is gonna be centered. And I just wanna kind of, I don't know, eyeball a little bit, make sure I've got this in the right spot. If that piece is centered, then that one will go about there. So go ahead and glue that one down. Because it's embossed, I do think you want to use some kind of liquid adhesive so that you really get all over the bumps on the embossing folder. And if that is a little long, you can we'll cut it off at the end. Now, if you've got grid paper, it's really nice because you can use the lines on the grid paper to line up your stripes to make sure they're straight. But you know what? It's a handmade card. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's the beauty of handmade. So now I'm going to come in with both of those, and I'm going to bring in my scissors. This one especially is long. Maybe I'll do it from the back. And go ahead and cut that end off. This one was even just a little long. You know, sometimes when you're cutting, just those little bits can be off. So now I can go ahead and put this layer right on my card base. It would have been difficult to cut those pieces if it had already been attached. So that's why I wanted to do that part first. All right. Now this is I'm going to bring in a little bit of the, let's see, I guess maybe I'll use a little bit of Pool Party and a sponge dauber, and I'm gonna just do a little on the edge here. You see, I'm just kind of brushing the edge. I don't want too much on there. I could do it with Lost Lagoon, but Lost Lagoon's a little dark, and the paper actually has, that Winter Meadows paper has both Pool Party and Lost Lagoon in it. So I'm gonna use the Pool Party. And let's see, we should do the inside too. So let's go ahead and Oh, here's my happy birthday. All right. So the happy birthday I'm going to use is from, now I don't remember which stamp set I'm using it from. Oh, I know. It's the Attention Shoppers. I thought it was a really cute font. It's one of my favorites. So I'm using Lost Lagoon ink. And I'm going to just do a little happy birthday. And then I'm going to come in. There's a stamp that's got these 3 little snowflakes on it. And Pool Party ink. Again. And I'm just going to, let's see. I'm just going to kind of just do a little happy birthday like that. Again, assuming it's going to be a winter birthday because I've got the snow on the outside. There. And since I've got this out, I am going to do the same thing. Oops, got to bring my Stampin' Pierce mat back on the flap of the envelope. So I'm just going to kind of randomly stamp, kind of turning my stamp as I go, and just kind of having some fun with the stamping. Okay, just kind of like a little swoop. Maybe I'll do one more over here. I don't want it to go on my mat. Bring in a little piece of scrap paper. There we go. So kind of cute, just a little something to show your recipient that there's something fun. Give them a little sneak peek to some fun that will be inside. So let's take the inside and finish that. So now I've definitely given my ink a chance to dry on my skates. It dries quickly, but I find that since I'm going to be using the blends on it with the alcohol, I like to give it just a few extra minutes, and I am going to dry, and I am going to be careful not to kind of try and stay away from the ink as much as possible. And all I'm doing, I'm using the fine end, and I'm just going to, I've got the light Pool Party, and I'm just outlining the skates to give it a little bit of depth. Since I did not die cut it, if you're doing multiple if you're making multiples, it's a lot faster to just do this than cut them out, die cut them all. So I think this is a good way if you are going to be using the skates for a Christmas card. I think it's nice to do it this way. And again, all I'm doing is kind of going all the way around, as you can see, both kind of in between the two skates, just outlining it all. I do love doing some coloring, and I think this is a great way to do it. It's kind of mindless this way, right? Really don't have to think too much about it. And I'm even going to come up along the little laces and give them a little outline. So this card comes together very quickly, as you can see. We're making 2 of them in this class. I do hold classes in Greensboro, Georgia. If you're ever in the area, would love for you to join me at a class. I hold 2 classes a month. The one is what I call the Sweet and Simple class. That's what these cards are. There's not a lot of die cutting. They're pretty sweet and simple. They come together pretty quickly. So in 2 hours, we have enough time to make 2 of them. And usually I will offer an opportunity for a couple of different sentiments. So this one, you could do them both the same, Christmas, or you could make them different. You could certainly also wait until you get home and add your own sentiment if the ones that I have available for you just don't strike your fancy. We have a lot of fun in class. The sweet and simple cards are nice because, you know, they're a little more mindless. They're easy, gives you time to visit with friends. They're not complicated. So a lot of time to share stories. And you know, sometimes, I mean, I love to do the more intense classes where, you know, more technique, but you have to concentrate a little bit more. You know, you can't, there's not as much time to visit. So trying to give something to everybody. And then as you saw, this is on dimensionals, and I'm just going to, whoops, I'm gonna move that over a little bit. Excuse me. There we go. And then I'm gonna bring in some, these are the Tinsel Gems Three-Pack. Has the Lost Lagoon gems in it. So let's go ahead and add a little bling to those. I like using this take your pick tool for this. This end with the putty on it is really easy. You see how I just kind of slid it off the paper, and then it sticks to the tool, and then you can attach it right to your card. So there you go. This one is Happy Birthday. The other one is Merry Christmas. I think both are kind of fun. I probably need to make sure I don't give the same one to the same person. Wouldn't that be something? And I'm noticing, like on this pair of skates that I did, the first one, let me show you a little trick. You can kind of see that I didn't get as good a coverage. Oh, and I realized that I missed out on something. Let me go ahead and show you a little trick there. You can come in with, this is just a Sharpie, because this just happens to be what I have sitting right next to me. But you can use your Stampin' Up markers, a black marker, and just fill that in a little bit. For some reason, I didn't notice it when I first made the cards, but now that I'm on video, you know, that's how it is. You see it. And I also realized that I put the slate, the smoky slate marker on the skates, and I like that better. So I'm gonna go in, even though it's already attached, I don't think it's a big deal. I'm gonna go in and color my skates. That's better. Did you notice? If so, let me know. Were you yelling at me? You forgot the skates, you forgot the skates. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for staying till the end. If you like what you see and you give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. It helps other people find my videos. And if you want to see more of the videos, I try to do a couple of them a month. Go ahead and follow, like my channel, follow me on Facebook, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you will see, you'll get a notification for all the work that I do, or all the cards that I share. So thanks again for joining me. My name is Linda Edwards. If you would like to purchase anything that you see today, you can find it all at my website, craftyherondesigns.com. Bye for now.